The meeting of the St. Mary's County Board of Education for Wednesday, June 4th, 2025. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Skeleton crew this morning. So, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move approval of the agenda as presented.
Have a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, our student board member is not here today, but we still have our superintendent who has a report.
Whew.
Take it away.
Yes, June 4th. I want to begin with a recap of a really fantastic last week. A stressful last week for everybody affiliated with St. Mary's County Public Schools. Every single parent, every single graduate, a lot of things going on. We graduated over 1,300 students. We streamed it live. During the live streaming, we would have well over 1,000 people watching from across the county, the state, the nation, and the world, as we definitely have a service-oriented community, and many people is serving in the military, armed forces. They were able to stream it live. As of right now, I believe the screen capture was as of Monday, it goes up every single day. Chopticon High School has been viewed 5,500 times, Leonardtown over 8,000 times, and Great Mills is approaching 8,000 views. That particular portion of our commencement exercise, the office under Dr. Marr, the retiring Dr. Marr, his office, as well as the incredible videographer crew that we have, who have multiple responsibilities and other duties as assigned this far, working with the James A. Forrest Career and Technology Center and their incredible digital media production team, the students who are, they rain or shine, they're there. Mr. Eric Millam being there for all of that. We stream that in with a 3-camera transitioned, high definition. It's beautiful from the very get-go. I would put that up against pretty much any video production of a live event, that you can see it live and that it's there archived and streamed and available. You can go and see all of our graduations for the last 11 years. They're all available on our website. It really is great. Why is that important? That is important because in every life, a little rain might fall. Or for Leonardtown High School, a lot of rain might fall. It's maddening to see this week and have it just be beautiful. Although warm, it will definitely be warm tomorrow. It's warmer today and warm tomorrow. And by the time we got to the end of the week at Chopticons, there were actually people. I was sunburnt by the time we were done. It had gotten warm. But Leonardtown High School, it rained. And we have a plan for a rain event, but we made a mid-correction in the middle as a result of the graduating class itself, forming a petition, appealing to Principal Copsey, really stressing the deep value of all of the graduates gathering together for their final time to say goodbye. It is a milestone event, and everybody who is involved with that recognizes that we go to the lengths that we go to so our children can be gathered together to truly be with the peers that, for many in St. Mary's County, we have so many students who are with us from pre-K or K all the way up through. So 13 or 14 years they have known these friends, and so we really wanted to have them together. And I understand the consternation and that causes, and I understand that the last minute change threw all of our lives into tumult. Certainly, Principal Copsey and I, when we were in the gym on Monday afternoon, trying to figure out how we could possibly do this for students, a very, very stressful thing. I cannot say enough about the parents who came up afterwards to thank Mr. Copsey, the students, Principal Copsey, the parents, the students as well. But most importantly, your 2,300 employees in St. Mary's County Public Schools, they solved every single problem to put on an event that you would have thought we had practiced for a month and prepped for. It was just amazing. If you are to go on social media, where everybody has an opinion and sometimes expresses it in an unpleasant way, one of the suggestions was, why don't we go back to St. Mary's College? We went to St. Mary's College. St. Mary's College worked. It was great. Yes, we did have multiple graduations at St. Mary's College. St. Mary's College is a beautiful campus and a wonderful way to send off our students. But St. Mary's College has a gymnasium that seats 2,000. Leonardtown High School's graduating class, about 550 graduates. So if you do the math on that, especially when you take into account that you're going to need to have a stage and you're going to have the band and you're going to have the chorus and you're going to have places for your video equipment and teams, you would only get 2 tickets. So it wouldn't be really any different than what we were able to do at Leonardtown High School. Moreover, we gave tickets when we were going down there. We had graduating classes of 400 or so. We were able to give 3, and in some cases 4 tickets to the main gym, depending on how it all worked out with the number of graduates. But then we gave 2 or 3 additional tickets for an auxiliary gym. The auxiliary gym had an older set of bleachers, and then we put floor chairs, and then we put a large inflatable screen, and we had an LCD projector putting it up on the screen. Okay. We were able to do that because we're now broadcasting in live, real-time HD. We were able to do a broadcast everywhere, but also into the gymnasium at Leonardtown Middle School, where we could accommodate over 600 people, and at the auditorium at Leonardtown High School, where we could accommodate over 600 almost 700 people. So we made the best decision that could be made if you take into account the children's wishes first. And I think that if you always consider the students first, while decisions might be difficult for some, they're probably going to be the best decisions that you can make. That being said, we have another year to plan. We are going to reach out. We already have reached out to the Prince George's Equestrian Center, where Calvert County, as well as a multitude of school systems, do their commencements. It's a very large venue. We're going to look at cost and available dates and have that information as we start next year. So for the class of 2026, we can explore all options. We will also re-engage with St. Mary's College to see how different the campus looks compared to the last time we were there. Keep in mind that they have built a stunning performing arts center right where we used to park cars. Their parking is, for large events, is in fields. And again, inclement weather, you can't really park 3,000 cars in a field. So we will explore everything for next year. To all those disappointed by the decisions made, I really am sorry. Please know that we take all of your comments to heart. These are difficult decisions to make. If decisions were easy, then they would be done. We've explored all options. We'll continue to explore all options, and we will always make the decisions in the best interest of our students. So with that, thank you very much, and thank you for everybody. I just can't say enough. It's an amazing week, and it's really an amazing moment, and that's why we do everything that we do. That being said, before we had commencements, we had our kids just knocking it out of the park all across the state. We are state champions, Chopticon High School varsity softball, 3A state champions, an incredible game. Just, gosh, what, I mean, that was a great night.
Very good game.
Miss Bailey, it was really fun sitting next to you and having you moderate everybody around us so that
Me, my daughter, and other people from that 2022 team. We had it all locked down.
everybody was there. They broke a
We were locked down.
for the first time since 1985. They are state champions. It was what a great group of athletes. There's just something really about that team. And honestly,
it was cold.
It was cold, right? It was sweater weather. And then the next day, Leonardtown High School went right back there to be the 4A state championship, back-to-back state champions for girls softball. Awesome. Again, the team dynamics, the way that they support one another and are there for the game and for the opportunity to play. It was really, really awesome. So congratulations to that. Track and field state champions. So all three schools, Great Mills High School, Zachary Braden, Great Mills High School with Amon, Harrison Morgan, Mabulaji Papalua, I believe, and Jadane Thaxter and Zachary Braden, Chopticon High School, William Mandis, the brother of the salutatorian. 3A jump for high jump, again, Mabulaji Papula. And then for Leonardtown High School, I don't have a picture of Hunter Man because that person is just all over the place. When he walked across the stage for graduation, his display of medals as well as I believe his appointment, he's just an incredible kid. So we couldn't not have his picture up there, so we put his senior portrait up there. We had a great opportunity right in the middle of all the graduations. The MSD, the State Board of Education, recognized the Teachers of the Year from each one of the counties. So we had Miss Tylita Butler, a science teacher from Esperanza Middle School, who's recognized as our SMCPS Teacher of the Year and competing for the Maryland Teacher of the Year, went up to MSDE, and she was joined by Principal Consalvo, and Dr. J.R. Beavers was also in attendance. That was a lovely opportunity to shine a spotlight on a fantastic educator. And then last night, we had our length of service ceremony. We recognized over 1,500 years of service for our length of service honorees, everywhere from 25, 30, 35, and 50 years of service. Shout out to Terry Fenwick in the Department of Operations. He started with us in 1974. So he's been working with us since before America celebrated its bicentennial. Pretty cool. And then for our retirees, 1,436 years of service for those being recognized. Just an incredible night, and of course, a heartfelt goodbye to several people that we have known for so very long, and they've given just the most amazing service to this county, to their colleagues, and ultimately to kids. So congratulations to all those who hit milestones, and May your lives be full of laughter and joy for all of those who are retiring. So here we are in June. We got a week left. The last day for pre-K is on Tuesday, the 10th, and then Wednesday is a half day for students. Then our teachers get to kind of mop up everything that's there. The last day for teachers is on the 13th. The entire system will be closed on Thursday, June 19th for the Juneteenth celebration. And that will put this year to a close.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. No recognitions? Do we have any public comment? Okay. Then may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Today's consent agenda consists of the approval of minutes for May 21st, 2025. Personnel teachers and personnel administrative and supervisory. With that, I move approval of the agenda as presented.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we have 3 action items. Oh my goodness, we actually have to vote on things today. First up, playground equipment at Letty Marshall Dent. Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, I can't find the presentations.
Where's our IT people?
Let me see.
Maybe here.
Let's see. So. Bum, ba, bum.
They're usually here.
Yeah, 2024. We go all the way down here. Da-da-da. And we go.
Playground.
There we go.
Thank you.
I'll just leave that open.
Can find the rest. Okay.
There we go.
So for the record, that actually worked. I think I might be one out of, I don't know how many times I've broken it.
Missing Dr. Meyer already.
Yes, exactly. Dr. Mark, where are you, good sir? I am a pale substitute.
Good morning. I'm here to present a recommendation to award a playground equipment for Lady Marshall Dent. The recommendation is to utilize the Houston-Galveston Area Council HGAC contract, PR 1120, for Parks and Recreation equipment, to purchase playground equipment to include the removal of the old playground that we will be replacing, and then the installation of the new playground. In the amount of $147,859.10 and a contingency of $15,000. A little bit of background. I included here an area so you all are familiarizing with the space. The area in the back of the school has 3 areas of playgrounds, the swings and 2 separate playgrounds. The one we are recommending to replace is the middle one, is the oldest one. It does need replacement. We are beyond the life expectancy of that playground. And it's really not, our standard for our schools is to install a playground from 2 to 5 years old and one from 5 to 12. Right now, we don't own one in this campus that it's 2 to 5. So with this addition, we will get back to the school to the standard that we have in every other elementary school. The other 2 we're not as recommending to replace because they are not due yet. The Department of Maintenance does a good job of inspecting our playgrounds twice a year, and they are the ones that really fit us. We have a table where we decide which ones we replace based on age, but also based on conditions. And I put there the expectancy according to what the system says, and it's really wide from 8 to 20 years, but it really depends on many conditions. And we see that playgrounds that are on the shade, around trees, they tend to last longer because the sun is not burning the plastic. So we really base it more in the inspections that maintenance does twice a year. I included a rendering of the proposed design. We work with this vendor that basically have been doing our playgrounds for the past years. And I included a detail of what the floor plan of the playground will look, and playgrounds are not just playgrounds. We include a lot of things to help these kids develop sensory tables, music instruments, many things that are inclusive and ADA for all the kids that need to be here and helping there with the mental health. And the list is there, but it's a little bit of everything. Slides, climbing, different options. And I did a little bit more of detail because I wanted to be understanding more, why do we recommend all these accessories, and why are why are they so important? Playgrounds are not just to play, but also to help them develop, encourage social interaction. It helps building SPAM, cognitive thinking, sense of discovery, promotes their growth and fine motor skills, teaches them and helps them with colors and numbers and shapes, and it helps with rhythm and timing with the music instruments, and we make sure that they all are inclusive. And you can see in the pictures what we've done, but for example, we have those 3 panels. The middle one is short. That's so that a kid in a wheelchair can access to it and still play the same way other children can play. We add the communication board, which is very important for those kids that really need help communicating or expressing what they're feeling. And we also find that it helps with mental health to incorporate that into the playgrounds. The procurement process was done through our contract that we're piggybacking on HGAC contract. That is a contract with the Houston, Galveston area that has with playground specialists. The contract is valid until the end of the year. And it provides us 10% on Playworld, which is the manufacturer that they represent. And these prices are going up in July, so that's why I'm rushing to get things done. I'm already seeing tariffs being charged in these playgrounds, so I want to make sure I can use my money wisely and get more for it. Playground specialists, they've been doing, like I said before, all our playgrounds, and it's a turnkey approach where they design and install, remove. And at this moment, I recommend that the Board of Education approve this agenda item as presented, and I am open for questions.
I appreciate it. I think it's great, and also I'm just going to add that with all of the activity, 5th District Park is right behind there, so between football, flag football, lacrosse, soccer, these playgrounds are not just used by the school, it's also used by every single family that is sitting there for any type of sporting event.
Yes,
so,
and it's really adjacent to the softball field.
100% is, yep.
And,
and that big soccer multi-use field on the left.
All of our grounds are open for the public. We really don't close them. It's at their own risk to use them after hours, but it's also not just for the school, but for the community.
Right. So, because the only playground at 5th District Park is way in the back.
Yes.
So if you have someone at one of those fields, everyone gravitates here. So double duty. So, Mrs. Washington?
That's a good point. And the playgrounds are an extension of the learning environment of the classroom, and it's important that we keep them up, which we do. I appreciate the inspections that are done on all our playgrounds, and our playgrounds have come a long way from the past, the way playgrounds used to be. Also, thank you for bringing this forward in a timely manner so we can be effective and efficient with our financial resources.
Thank you.
When do you anticipate that this will start? Will it be finished in time for school to start, given the renovations that are
Yes.
going on at the school? And are we using funds from the budget we are closing out, or are these funds coming from the FY26 budget?
So we have the funds already. The budget is from the limited renovation part of it, the local portion of it. So I am accessible anytime.
Okay.
I will put a PO, if it's approved today, I will put the PO. It does take several weeks for fabrication and installation, and we'll be working with a contractor. I'm hoping that we can finish it before the school starts, but we've done in the past where until I put the order, I can't have a hard date. But we've worked in the past that even though if we do it during the school, we can work with the school because they have the other playground, and we kind of corral it so that it can be done. It's really done quickly. It's 1 day demo, 1 day installation. It's really done quickly.
Great.
So
Thank you very much.
Okay. We have a motion.
You got it?
Recommended action. I move that the Board of Education approve the use of H-GAC contract PR 11-20 to purchase playground equipment from Playground Specialists Incorporated in the amount of $147,859.10 and a contingency in the amount of $15,000 for the removal of old and installation of new playground equipment at Lady Marshall Dent Elementary School.
You have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. It is the Ms. Layano show, so we will just continue on with the, what are we doing now? Oh, the chiller and cooling
Yes.
tower at the tech center.
So I have two more going here. This one is for the award of the general contractor for the chiller and cooling tower at the tech center, James A. Forrest Career and Technology Center. And the request is to approve a contract in the amount of $1,138,000 to provide construction services and $60,000 for contingency to W.L. Gary for the chiller and cooling tower at the tech center. Again, a little bit of background, the existing conditions. We have a chill water central system for cooling that has 2 chillers and has 1 cooling tower. Has pumps, piping, and the main thing here is that it has a phase-out refrigerant. And we're working diligently to replace these chillers that by Monday we have to replace because we can't get the refrigerant. And I added here the expectancy, the life expectancy of chillers, and they're different between a water cooler or an air cooled chiller, very much different. This one is from 20 to 30 years, and you can see that we've exceeded that. In our the scope is, it's basically a replacing kind. We remove the old and we install the new ones with new technology, a new refrigerant. I added an alternate to see if we were able to afford for a more. This chiller is going to be efficient more than what we currently have, but there are different models in the market that can make it even more efficient. And unfortunately, we did not have the funds to go that end of the design. So we're going with replacing kind, and we still get the warranty, which is usually 2 to 5 years, depending on what part of the chiller we're talking about. Our procurement method was the typical multi-step procurement where I like to pre-qualify bidders, so I know that people that are submitting a bid are really qualified to do the project. And it's based on technical specifications, financial expertise, legal standing. And only those that pre-qualified can submit a bid. We submitted the RFP on email and marketplace on March 21st. We know that 737 vendors received notifications. 8 of them submitted technical proposals. We pre-qualified 4 of those 8. And 3 firms were the ones that submitted a bid on last Friday. And I'm happy to see that we're coming here quickly so that we can order the material and get going with the intent that we can install once we go to heating mode, and then we can decommission the chiller and start working so that when the next cooling season comes, we're ready. Yes. The recommendation for the selection is W.L. Gary, which they do several of our chillers and our HVACs. They currently did 3 that we just replaced this year, very well known. I added the proposed fees so you understand what fees I had to work with. I had, it was a pure local CIP project itself, standing alone, that is funding this and the next one I'm recommending. And then we are supplementing some funding with some critical funds that we have for this type of work. And at this moment, we recommend that the Board of Education approve this agenda item as presented, and I am open for questions again.
I do not have anything. Mary?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you.
No questions. The documents that you provided gave all the information. I loved the, not to happen before October 15th and must be completed by, at the end of April or something. And so, like, nice, very good. So, thank you.
All right, may I have a motion?
I move that the Board of Education approve the construction award to W.L. Gary Incorporated in the amount of $1,138,000 and a construction contingency in the amount of $60,000 for the chiller and cooling tower replacement at the Dr. James A. Forrest Career and Technology Center.
Second?
Second?
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. All right. Now, more chiller replacement and Margaret Brent.
Okay, and the last one today is another chiller for Margaret Brent Middle School. To request approval to award a contract in the amount of $854,484 to provide construction services and $50,000 contingency for to Gagan Mechanical for the chiller replacement at Margaret Brent Middle School. Existing conditions here, the ones at the tech center were water cooled. These are air cooled chillers. Are from 2004. We understand that one chiller has been repaired extensively, and I understand that it's not working properly at the moment. So that's why we're hurrying up. Also has a phased out refrigerant that we are replacing, and in this case, because they are air-cooled chillers, ASHRAE recommends that their life expectancy is 15 to 20, so it's much less. The local capital improvement project included funding for these two chillers, and then again replacing in kind, removing the old, installing the new ones, with the same warranty of 2 to 5 years depending on the component. We did the same pre-qualification method. The same day we pre-qualified for both. We posted on e-Maryland Marketplace, and we pre-qualified the same contractors. And then this time the lowest bidder was Gagan Mechanical, came with the lowest bid. And Gagan has done recently about 3 chillers for us too. So they're more active in this area. They like to work with St. Mary's, and they're paying attention of what we're posting so that they can come and work with us too. The proposed fees, so you understand, this time I was able to use all the local funds standing alone CIP project that we had for it. And at this moment, I recommend that the Board of Education approve this agenda item as presented, and I am open for questions.
I don't have anything. I'm just gonna make the comment that, just to expand a little bit on what you said, I think I agree with you. As we continue to put out RFPs and people work with us down here and they see the quality and the care and the diligence and a lot of things and how complete everything is, you know, in the bid and what we want, I think it automatically feeds into higher quality contractors that apply for our jobs. So thank you for all of that.
Thank you.
No questions, thank you.
Wonderful job, as usual, and please take the kudos back to everyone in your area. I know you're small but mighty, but as Mrs. Bailey has said, the quality of work that you put out gives us a much better product in the end, and it is noticed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, may I have a motion?
I move that the Board of Education approve the construction award to Gagan Mechanical Incorporated in the amount of $854,484 and a construction contingency in the amount of $50,000 for the chiller replacement at Margaret Brent Middle School.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right,
Thank
thank you. Go forth and issue purchase orders
Oh, yes, please.
before July 1st.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
Leslie Kinski, Director of Maintenance, really, really, really wants this work to go forward
As I'm sure,
in an expedited
as I'm sure
fashion.
the people at Margaret Brent.
And the
and the tech
Forest
center.
Center, yes, yes, yeah.
Okay. Our School Boundary Advisory Committee policy.
Actually,
That's the,
That's
we
the-
see the chiller.
Oh, chiller. Yeah. I clicked the wrong one.
The one at the top. Oh, it's still open. Hold on. Give us 1 second.
Trying to find them. There it is.
Close these first.
Yeah, the mouse is still up front.
After this meeting, we will be going through and we're taking a look at all of this. We're redoing cameras
drag
and
thing,
things and
the
stuff,
mouse
so,
is-
yeah. But it's nice, it builds, there we go.
Right. Thank you. So we are here for a first reading revision based on our meeting in May with the board on policy JCAA. So with the board's permission, what I'm going to do, there's a lot of redaction in this. So what I was going to do is proceed through and show the changes that we've made. And at the end of the slide, we have a full read of the proposed
Much better, yes.
policy. So the title, we were changing to realignment. Based on our last meeting, we talked about the difference between increased capacity and overcrowding in new schools versus additions. So we did include the words increased capacity or overcrowding. We did not make any changes to this section of the policy. Under the board's responsibility, we changed ashore to inshore in both places. This is still being redacted. Still being redacted. In the implementation by the superintendent, we did make sure that it said and ensure communication to the community. And I did make the change. We had talked about April, but the policy, or the law says by April 30th. So I did include the date of April 30th. We have another set of redaction of the calendar. And no change to the definitions, taking out, as we had, the policy for the committee meeting. So I will read the full policy as it was changed and recommended for change at the last meeting. So the purpose of this policy is to provide for the realignment of school district boundaries as a result of new school construction, increased capacity, or overcrowding at existing schools, budgetary constraints and efficiencies, emergencies, or closing existing schools. The policy statement is in accordance with Section 4-109C of the Education Article. Maryland Annotated Code provides that. With the advice of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education of St. Mary's County, the Board shall determine the geographic attendance area for each school established under this section. The Board has the primary responsibility to ensure high-quality educational programs at the most efficient level of cost effectiveness through optimum use of facilities. The superintendent shall develop procedures for the continuous evaluation of the school system to determine any necessary modifications based on the type of redistricting required. The procedure shall ensure fair notice and opportunity for comment to all members of the community. The superintendent of schools will implement and ensure communication to the community, a redistricting timeline that will allow for development and approval of plans, including the use of consultants, with new school assignment notification to the students affected by the new boundary plans no later than April 30th of the school year prior to redistricting taking place. Community involvement in the planned development process will be completed through an advisory committee that includes representatives as approved by the superintendent of schools from the areas being considered for boundary changes. Expectations for evaluation, review, and updates. This policy will be reviewed and evaluated according to the board's review schedule and or as federal, state laws and regulations change. So we stand for you with any questions you may have.
I have no questions or comments. I appreciate changes that were made, inclusion of the communication with the community from the superintendent, just in case Scott goes rogue on us and decides to, So, thank you. Mary?
Thank you, good job, thank you. And it clearly delineates the board's role, the policy, and the superintendent will come forward with the regulations on how this will be done. Thank you.
I appreciate that you incorporated our comments and concerns in this revised piece. And what happens now?
So the next piece would, at your next meeting, this will go to public comment. And then the following meeting in July for your approval, based on those comments that you received.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you.
All right, so the next board meeting will be on Wednesday, June 18th. Executive session at 5 and open meeting beginning at 6, and we are adjourned.